Hi guys, this is Jeanette, aka Sweet Jean, and this is going to be a mukbang or a mukbang video. It's my very first one. I do watch a couple of mukbangers or mukbangers. I'm not sure how to say it. And for whatever reason, whenever I'm sick, because if you're new here, I do have cancer, breast cancer, and I do go through days where I have loss of appetite, and for whatever reason, whatever wicked, warped, strange, twisted reason, I'm nauseous or I can't eat for a day or two. I find it fulfilling watching other people eat. Now, I know that's hard to process and hard to understand, but it does. And so I enjoy watching people eat whenever I would be nauseous or I myself couldn't eat, and then it just became a habit where I would just watch these videos every day because I wanted to see what they ate. Sometimes people have story times and they talk about situations, so I am going to have a story time with this video, but I do want to show you what I have. I went to a Mediterranean restaurant, and I'm going to try and hold this up as best I can, but this is pita bread, and this is like olives, feta, tomato, lettuce. I think on the bottom is rice. I forgot the name of the rice. And then it has chicken. So this is what I got. And then on the side, I thought I had ordered just like flatbread. And I guess it is flatbread, but it has pepperoni slices, which I really didn't realize. I guess I didn't really read the menu description very well. And this is what that looks like. Now, I am cutting corners as far as carbs and sugars, but today is my cheat day. It's Saturday, so it's my unofficial cheat day because I'm not on a diet. I'm just cutting corners. And then, of course, to drink, well, not of course, but I have a Diet Coke here, so let me have a sippy sip. So I'm going to be eating, guys. I'm probably going to be making some sounds with chewing. I may hiccup. I might burp. I will definitely excuse myself. I'm going to try to do this all in one take. I don't want to have to edit because then I have to upload to my laptop, and my laptop's kind of outdated and slow, and the program is outdated and slow. So I'd rather do it on my phone and upload straight from there without hardly any edits. If I can get away with it. So if this is not something that you enjoy watching, then this isn't the video for you, and you can always click off and just stay tuned for my next video. Okay, so let me get started. I'm gonna mix this up really good, and I already got dirty. Let me put a napkin down so my Selena shirt doesn't get dirty in my jacket. So this is going to be a story time about how I spoke to David Lee Roth. He was the lead singer to Van Halen, and then he went solo. I don't know if they fired him or if he just went solo on his own. But I spoke to David Lee Roth on the phone. Well, on a headset. And I told David Lee Roth something that I should not have said. So I've never mentioned this before, I don't believe, but let me take a bite. That rice is a little spicy, which is good. Or is it the chicken? I don't know, something in here is spicy. I think it might be the rice. I just needed to get a few bites in. So, I don't think I've ever mentioned this on my channel. And I've had this channel since 2009, but I didn't really get really active with vlogs and YouTube. I used it mostly just to upload like family videos. just random stuff. I didn't really take it to the level of being like a YouTuber, which I don't even consider myself a YouTuber because I'm like so very much an amateur. Anyhow, I used to work for American Airlines Reservations. We had a call center here in San Antonio for American Airlines. It's no longer open, otherwise I would work there, because like an idiot, I never took advantage of the free flights. I was afraid of flying at the time. And now I could kick myself because there's so many places that I could have gone. And the hotels would give us discounts. Like, I was a dummy. Oh, I worked the making reservations, and I spoke to a few famous people, actors, but we're going to concentrate today only on David Lee Roth, and I may upload some other videos with the other actors and people that I spoke to on the phone. So I was a domestic reservation, which means only like the United States, and then we had our international calls, which were for people that were traveling outside of the US, obviously. But as a rule, anytime we got anybody famous, whether they were a singer, whether they were an actor, or what have you, models, if we ever got a celebrity, we were supposed to transfer those calls to our supervisor because they needed to be handled with care and with a level of confidentiality and professionalism, you know what I mean? So I got this call one day, and this guy is like, yes, I have a flight leaving from LAX to wherever he was going. I don't even remember. But I'm running really late. I'm using the car phone. Can you please tell me what the estimated time of departure is, or when that plane, he said when that plane is due to leave exactly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me check that for you. Can I get your confirmation code or your first and last name, please? He said, yes, this is David Lee Roth. I think I swallowed rice. Hold on. Now, I have something stuck in my throat, guys. You're gonna have to give me a moment. Maybe if I swallow some food, it'll go down. It went down the wrong pipe. I think I'm okay to continue. Okay, so he says, yes, this is David Lee Roth. And of course I'm like, David Lee Roth? And so he said, yes, ma'am. And we used to get a lot of crank calls, but they didn't go exactly like this. They were like, what are you wearing? They would start off trying to make a reservation, and then they would start breathing heavy, and you can hear noises or audio in the background, and they would start with inappropriate questions. But I was giving him the benefit of the doubt because, you know, you never know. So I said, okay, so I'm looking it up, David Lee Roth. And then I said, and you're flying out of LAX to whatever, DEN, Denver? He's like, yes. And so I put it in, and it pulled up, and I'm like, holy shit. Okay. And then when the screen comes up, it says David Lee Roth Enterprises. And then it has like certain restrictions, like the limousine driver can't smoke or wear cologne or perfume. the hotel reservation, because it was made by a travel agent. And then so the hotel information was like corner room, two wall windows or two-sided windows, balcony if possible, something like that. No vacuuming during the day. Staff cannot wear cologne or perfume, like I guess the cleaning staff or housekeeping. Cologne or perfume, and absolutely no smoking. So I was like, oh crap. And there were other things, but I don't want to get too personal, but those are things that I think are okay to share. Plus, this was like 20 years ago. I mean, I was really, really, really young. Oops. So I look up the flight, and man, he was in luck because that flight hadn't even landed yet. So I said, okay, Mr. Roth, your flight estimated time of departure is, like an hour from the time that he's calling. He's like, oh my God, thank you so very much. I really appreciate you checking up on that. I'm running late. I'm using the car phone, and my travel agent isn't to be reached. She's on another call, blah, blah, blah. So I really appreciate all your help. And so I said, and I forgot to mention, when I found out that it was David Lee Roth, I was supposed to transfer that call to my supervisor and let her know so she can take over the call, because that was the rule. That was, one of the things that we had to do working there. If you get a celebrity, you need to transfer that call. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And, but I didn't. I said to myself, I can help him. I'm a professional. I can be discreet. I have a very nice phone voice, so I've heard. And so he didn't need to make flight changes. He didn't need to make hotel changes. He didn't need to make any type of changes. He was just wondering what time the flight was leaving because he was running late. And I said to myself, why am I going to have him hold for a supervisor when I can surely help him and do the job? So he's thanking me and thanking me about it. And while he's thanking me, I can hear his voice, and I could tell it's him. He has a certain way of talking. And if you hear him, because back in the day, he was a little bit more popular like 20 years ago than he is now. But, his singing voice sounds very much like his talking voice, and his talking voice is very distinct. If you were to hear him on the phone, after some time, if you're of that era like me, you would be like, wait a minute, and then you would be able to recognize who's talking, because he just has a certain way of talking. You have to look at his interviews. You have to look at him, hear his music to understand what I'm talking about. Even when he's talking low or like whispering, because in some of his music he talks low or he whispers, and it still sounds like David Lee Roth, So anyhow, he's finishing up thanking me, and I'm, telling him, oh, you're very welcome, and this and that, and I'm getting ready to wrap up my call. And then I said, is this really David Lee Roth? Which I 99.9% knew it was. And he said, yes. He goes, yes, yep, that's me. And I go, oh my God, I love you. And he goes, well, thank you very much. And then I'm like, thank you so much for calling American Airlines. We appreciate your business. Please feel free to reach us for any questions on your reservation. Have a nice day, Mr. Roth. And he's like, well, thank you very much for being kind and for answering my question. I appreciate it. And then we hung up. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. That is spicy. Mm. I'm hungry. Mm. Mm. Oh. We'll see how well this video goes, and if it goes well, I may do a couple of these mukbang videos here and there. But my chemo hasn't quite hit me yet. I had chemo yesterday. So I'm enjoying a good meal today because who knows what tomorrow or the next day is going to look like. As far as how my stomach is going to be and my appetite, my strength. I never realized how busy this parking lot was. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So good. So nice. Oh, let me try this. Flatbread. So, that's what that looks like. Mm. Let me see. This actually kind of tastes like, it doesn't taste bad. It tastes like something that I could have bought frozen at the grocery store and thrown in the oven or microwave. But then again, it's not hot anymore. It got cold sitting out here. Maybe it was better when it was hot. But like I said, it's not bad. It's just not, it's not a wow. Nothing to write home about, in my opinion. But it's okay. Okay. Back to my salad, or my, what is this called again? Tikka rice bowl. Has rice, the tikka chicken, lettuce, tomato, and some kind of sauce, white sauce, feta. Thought it had more olives, but I don't seem to see any. I thought I saw one earlier. Feels like it's getting more spicier at the bottom. And the rice was at the bottom, so maybe it's the rice that has a spice on it. I kind of bit my tongue. I spoke to Bill Murray. The actor. Wasn't a very long conversation. Or exciting. He was traveling to Aruba with his family at the time. So I had to transfer him to international. And I spoke to Hugh Grant. And he was traveling with Elizabeth Hurley at the time. Which goes to show you how old or how long ago this was when I worked there. Because I think they were together for like a short amount of time. Now it's about 20 years ago. My neighbor spoke to Alex Garcia. Who else was it? Ricky Lake. Another one spoke to Sean Puff Daddy Combs. was barely starting out. It was fun working there. I was sad when they closed it. That was the only time that I could say that I've been on a plane but never flew. Because when we got hired, they took us on a little field trip to the airport. And then they let us sit in a couple of different types of planes that American Airlines uses. Like the 757s or I forgot the other ones. But just so that we can have an experience. So when we're talking to people and they have questions about the seating or they have questions about the restrooms or whatever, we were knowledgeable and able to tell them and not just read from a book that told us, you know, about the leg room, which seats recline, which seats don't, and if they're actually comfortable or not, or if they're even worth getting or not. The exit row seating, how that looked like. You can't be handicapped while you sit there. Because you'll need to assist in an evacuation, and if you're handicapped, you can't do it. And then they let us have a snack, they let us have a soda. The seatbelt extenders and how they're discreet about it. And they're very respectful. What else? They used to have these like relaxing rooms or meditation rooms. And it was just little rooms like 6 feet by 6 feet. And they had like leather recliners. And they had little timers in there because people would go in there and take naps on their lunch break. And smartphones weren't a thing then. People were using like Motorola's and Premco phones. So that little timer, so you could set it for 30 minutes, an hour, 15-minute break, whatever. They had the leather recliners, and the doors used to lock, so people wouldn't walk in on you while you were taking a nap. The bad thing about that is that what do you guys think the bad thing is about that? I'll wait. Leave it in the comments. Why I think that would be a bad idea and why they did away with them. People would go in there with another person, like say a boyfriend and girlfriend that worked there or someone you were cheating on with your husband with. So those doors would lock, and people would start doing things in there that they weren't supposed to be doing, and then people were getting caught coming out together, like in pairs, because they must have like 7 of those rooms. Oh gosh. So those bastards ruined it for us people who love to take naps. Because man, I would rather take a nap than have lunch, because at that time I was young and I was going out. I was getting minimal sleep. Sorry guys, I had something there. Was getting minimal sleep or no sleep. Was a party animal. And so during lunch, I wouldn't eat. I would just go straight to one of those rooms, lock the door, set the timer for 30 minutes, an hour, and I would recline in that chair and I would dim the light and I would go to sleep. And those bastards had to be mañosos and go in there and do stuff and then ruin it for the rest of us. So they ended up breaking those rooms down and turning it into like little offices for whatever reason, for recording calls or for training reasons or whatever. But anyhow, I'm done with my meal. I had the chicken tikka salad with rice on the bottom, that flatbread, Ya Habibi flatbread with the pepperoni. I didn't really care for it that much. It was okay, it's passable, but nothing to write home about. That chicken tikka salad was very, very good. And of course my Diet Coke hit the spot. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're made aware of new videos when they drop. This is my first eating video, so I don't know how it's going to be received online. If you judge me kindly. It's my first video like this. Most of my videos are my life living with terminal cancer and all the ups and downs and in-betweens. So anyhow, thank you so much for joining me. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.